Today in our / malicious compliance. Can't boss me around anymore. About 2 years ago, I worked at a bar-type place that was pretty small but got really busy at night, and besides the two owners, there was only me and one other worker who was considered the manager. Let's call him Kyle. I was paid $10 an hour and Kyle was paid $15 an hour, which didn't really make much sense because, for the most part, I did all of the work. I served customers, ran the register, stocked and kept track of what we need, cleaned the entire building at the end of the night, and also cleaned the parking lot of the building since our customers would often litter all over the place. Kyle really just sat in the back and made whatever orders me or the mayors gave him. We were open from noon to 2 a.m. every day. Important. Kyle and I worked from 6-7 p.m. to 2-3 a.m. depending on how busy we were. He would work the entire shift if the owners had something to do that day. Now, Kyle was an absolute terror to work with. He was always bossing me around and telling me something had to be done when I was already extremely busy. Always saying something wasn't done right, or if I had a little extra free time, he would try to put some of his workload on me, or if the owners let me have a good break, he would say I'm slacking off, basically just constantly messing with me and making me mad. I consider myself to have great customer service, so I would never let it get to me while I was at work, and always tried my best to not get mad. Now the owners often go on vacation a few times a year. This time they were going on vacation together for a week, and Kyle was scheduled to work every shift from open to close. No problem for him since he's done it before. One of the owners also told us his brother would be coming in to watch over things, but he didn't really know how to run the place or make anything, so one of us were to always be there to make sure everything is good. Kyle and I both had no problems with the plan, and we spent that night getting everything prepared for when the owners would be gone. Next day comes around, and I get a call at 11:30 from the owner's brother. He asks where Kyle is and says he isn't answering the phone. I call and get a hold of him, and he can't come in for some unknown reason. Oh, whatever, I'll cover your shift. I get ready, go into work, and cover his shift. I was still a little new to making everything, so it took me some time to get the hang of it, but after a few hours everything went smoothly, especially since our day people were regulars and all knew me. By the end of the night I had worked 14 hours and was extremely exhausted, so I decided to just sleep in my car and drive home when I woke up. Well, of course, I wake up the next morning and Kyle calls me saying he can't come in again. I give the owner's brother a heads up and go home to get ready for work again. Day 3 rolls around and, of course, Kyle can't come in again. By this point, I was beyond pissed. I have my own life, and I have things that I actually want to do besides just work and sleep. I was pissed for a little bit until I realized what I can get out of this if just work the entire week for him. I'll call back and ask why he can't work. He didn't give an answer, of course. And then I tell him that if he has something going on I can cover the rest of the week for him, no problem, so we won't blow his phone up anymore, and he had no problem letting me. I told the owner's brother what the new plan was, and while he was mad at Kyle, he said he would take my side on the whole thing when his brother came home. So for the rest of the week, I came in every day at 11:30 a.m. and worked until 2-3 a.m. The owner's brother would come in and help out wherever he could and would run the register for me when we were extremely busy. The week ended up going great. Me and him never fell behind on work, even when it got busy. The owner's brother also realized that having a manager was completely pointless since I did almost all of the work in the first place for $5 less. The managers come back and guess who finally shows up for work. Kyle. He comes in acting like he did what he was supposed to, and that everything went as planned, and I went along with it during the shift and decided to keep my comments to myself for the end of the night. And once closing time came around, I let everything loose, and the owner's brother was right there to back everything up for me. They were both so surprised, cause he had never done anything like before. Now I was only doing all this because for that week I would have gotten a really hefty paycheck, cause I ended up working over 90 hours. We were paid under the table. The owners were quite generous and ended up paying me for all the hours at the $15 per rate, which I didn't expect but really enjoyed. They then took it a step further because of the brother's comments. Kyle ended up getting his ass handed to him and was fired that night, and he didn't make a single penny for that entire week. Not too long after, they hired a new guy at the same rate as me and also stripped the manager position, so nobody working there had any control over me except for the owners, who now had a new respect for me and just let me do my own thing. I also proved to them that I am able to work a full shift and got as much hours as I wanted. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell, and whatever else our YouTube overlords require nowadays.